everybody. In this video, I'm going to explain how to use the instant runoff method to determine the winner of a preference schedule vote. So take 3 deep breaths and let's make this math easy. All right, so with the instant runoff method, the goal is to get a majority of the votes. And sometimes, especially if you have lots of different options, there is no clear majority. So say, for example, we had people vote on their favorite festivals in Cedar City. So we have the Oktoberfest, Red Rock Film, and Shakespeare. Well, based on our preference schedule, if we add up the total number of people who voted all together, we would do 8 plus 1 plus 1 plus 3 plus 5 plus 5, which tells us that there were a total of 23 people who voted. And if our goal is to get a majority, remember a majority is a little bit over half of the number of people who voted. So if I divide 23 in half, that gives me 11.5, which means that the majority is going to be a total of 12 votes. And so in order to win the instant runoff method, we need one of the festivals to have a vote of at least 12 first place votes. So to start the instant runoff method, I'm going to calculate how many first place votes each festival has. So the Oktoberfest has 8 first place votes plus 1 first place vote, which means that there are 9 first place votes for Oktoberfest. Then the Red Rock Film Festival has 1 plus 3 first place votes, and so that would be 4. And the Shakespeare Festival has 5 plus 5. And so Shakespeare has 10 first place votes. Now notice that none of the festivals have the majority that we're looking for. And so this is why we call it the runoff method. Because if none of the options have a majority, then we eliminate the one who has the least first place votes. So in this case, that would be Red Rock Film. And I'm basically going to eliminate Red Rock Film from the votes. And then I'm going to recalculate the first place votes for Oktoberfest and Shakespeare. And so for Oktoberfest, I now have 8 plus 1 plus 1 because this is now the first place vote because Red Rock Film was eliminated. And so the number of votes for Oktoberfest would be a total of 10 because I have 8 plus 1 plus 1. And then for Shakespeare, this vote here, or these 3 people who voted for Red Rock Film and then Shakespeare, are now being counted as Shakespeare being their first place vote because Red Rock Film was eliminated. And so we would say, well, there's 3 people plus these other 2 groups of 5 people that tell us that there's a total of 13 people who chose Shakespeare as their first place vote. And so that means the Shakespeare Festival would be the winner of the instant runoff method. And sometimes you may have to eliminate multiple options. So in this case, we only had to eliminate one of our options in order to get to the majority. But sometimes you may have to eliminate multiple options before you can get to the majority. So why don't you go ahead and practice this one? So this summarizes some votes based on favorite outdoor activities. So B stands for biking, H stands for hiking, and R stands for rock climbing, and S stands for skiing. So pause this video and determine the winner with the instant runoff method, and then restart the video to see the correct answer. Okay, so the first thing we need to do is we need to look at how many votes we have total and divide it in half to determine how many votes are necessary to find the majority. So to calculate this out, I'll do 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 4 plus 1. And that tells me that in this case as well, I have 23 total votes. And I got that number by adding all of these numbers up to see how many total votes there were altogether. If I divide that in half, again, I get 11.5, which tells me my majority is going to be 12. And so in order to win the instant runoff method, I need to have one of my outdoor activities to have a majority of 12 votes. So I'm going to start off by looking at each of my first place votes. So it looks like biking has 3 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1 first place votes, and so that's a total of 6. Hiking has 4 plus 3 plus 3 plus 1 plus 1, which is a total of 12 votes. And then rock climbing has 0, and skiing has 5. And so it looks like, based on this preference schedule, that hiking is automatically the winner, and you didn't have to eliminate any of the other options in order to determine that, because hiking automatically had a majority of 12. So sometimes the instant runoff method will give you the exact same result as the plurality method if the number of first choice votes is a majority. And if that doesn't happen, then that's when you eliminate your option with the lowest first choice votes until one of the options does get a majority. So that's how the instant runoff method works. If you have any questions, let me know, and I hope you have a great day.